There was a 39-year-old man named Phil that came to Brazil looking for his brother, James Lee. James Lee had been missing for like 3 or 4 days. So Phil flew down from Chicago to check the scenery to find out where his brother was. So he flew into Rio and he was talking to people, but he wasn't getting any help. And he began to be in despair because statistics say that if you don't find someone within the first 48 hours, they're going to be presumed missing forever, especially in Brazil. And Brazil has the highest homicide rate. Rio has the highest homicide rate in Brazil, similar to Chicago. So in despair, Phil was walking around, as a foreigner in Rio, in dangerous Rio. So he ran upon a young child, and the young child was enthusiastic about how Phil was dressing. So he started calling out to Phil, P Diddy. P. Diddy, because he thought he was P. Diddy because this was the first time that he saw an American before. So Phil noticed that like this was the first person that's really paying me attention. So he went to the young boy who had a dirty T-shirt, dingy white T-shirt. You could tell that he had the T-shirt on for like about a week. So the little boy start saying Tupac rhymes to him. All eyes on me, and he just started dancing. All eyes on me. You could tell that he was watching too much TV. So Phil saw that he didn't have any shoes on, and what Phil does back home, he worked with troubled youth to help them with housing and education and things concerning that nature. So the little boy, what Phil did was he made a mistake and pulled out a wad of money. You never pull out a wad of money. You always keep your money in your front pockets when you going outside the country, and just keep like a small amount of money that you want to spend in hand in a different pocket. But he makes a mistake and pulls out the wad of money. This attracts people that he's not even aware of. So the little boy said that you looking for other American upstairs. So he pointed upstairs. So Phil saw that it was an apartment upstairs. So Phil runs up there, but it was pitch black in the hallway. So he gets to the door, the only room in the building. So once he gets to the room, it's pitch black again. So he's walking in the dark, and it's so dark he couldn't see his hand, but it's just a little sliver of the moonlight that was trying to wrestle through the carpet, but it still was pitch black. So he hears a man moaning in the distance. Oh, it feels like, James Lee, is that you, James? So he started going towards the corner. So instantly you hear the shatter of glass against Phil's skull. So as the glass is falling to the floor, so does Phil's lifeless body. Phil's lifeless body fall to the ground. And they began to, it was two men. They stole Phil's money, his passport, his shoes, everything that belonged to him, and they placed a dead black rose by his body. So the policemen came and they did their report, took pictures, and they went back to the station. And they were talking to himself that like Philip Rondon had came to visit our country. He was a visitor. And they just started saying Phil Rondon. So they looked at each other in shock, and they was afraid because Rondon is the name of a Fantasma, and Fantasma means in Brazilian Portuguese ghost. But this ghost is known as the greatest assassin that's in the whole country of Brazil, probably the whole continent of South Africa. So they just was quiet about it because they knew that Phil was a brother to Fantasma, the ghost. So we have next scene that the ghost, he was on a job, and he ran in a house and killed 3 people. So, and he heard in the distance these small footsteps coming. So he hid behind the in the hallway, and he heard the voice of the little boy of a little boy. So he jumped out as the little boy was coming, and the little boy was startled. And the little boy said to him, "You gave me $20. You gave me $20." And the Fantasma, the ghost that's known for not leaving any witnesses, he's so treacherous that with his victims, even while they're dead, he takes out their vocal cord so they can't even speak his name in death. In death. So the little boy says to him, "You gave me $20. And Ghost lowered his gun and said, "You didn't give me anything," with a raspy voice. "You didn't give me anything. I didn't give you anything." So the little boy said, "Yes, you did. I thought they killed you. Salvador's people, I thought they killed you because they left a black rose by your body. He looks just like you. And he had a scar under his right eye." And then instantly, the Fantasma knew that was his brother. And Salvador killed his brother. But Salvador wasn't only guilty of killing his brother, he was guilty of making Fantasma an assassin. Because 2 weeks earlier, James, who is the Fantasma, had went to a Brazilian bar and he was partying, and he made another mistake that his brother made. He left his drink unattended. So he began to dance with the beautiful women of Brazil and enjoying the nightlife, but he didn't know that a man had put something in his drink. It was Salvador, who was a lower drug dealer and a pimp. So he grabbed his shot and just took more and give me another shot. He just started taking shots. Then next thing you know, he started feeling woozy from the poison that they placed in his drink and the alcohol. So he said, "I gotta leave." So he makes another mistake. He begins to walk the streets of Rio by himself, unattended, not even knowing the language. So instantly, a van pulls up beside him and kidnaps him. Then days later, he wakes up with a man dressed like a skeleton in black and white. He was known as the Skeleton Man. And the Skeleton Man was just hanging over his body as he was tied to a purple tree, and began to ask him, "Do you know where you are?" And James, being from the inner city of Chicago, said, "Man, you better let me go." Then the Skeleton Man begins to laugh at him. "Do you know why you're on this purple wood and why it's purple? The souls of the people that tried to escape what I'm about to do to you got caught inside the wood. So during a full moon, you can feel their souls trying to break free from the wood. But for you, it's your lucky night. It's a blood red moon." So he began to do rituals on Phil. Then next thing you know, Phil became what is known as a half dead. And they gave him the name of the Fantasma. So all of this came back to his memory because he was half dead because of the ritual. Next thing you know, he's walking down the hallway of the drug kingpin, Salvador. He opens the door with his left hand, but in his right hand he has the gun. So he walks to the foot of the bed and pulls out his pocket a black red rose and places it at the feet of Salvador. And he gets up and pulls the gun to Salvador. And Salvador, knowing this, he wakes up and sits up in his bed with the bone chain around his neck. It's pitch black. You just see the moonlight shadowing over the bed. But you can see the bones, the white bones on the necklace. And Salvador says to him, "You cannot kill me. Your soul belongs to me. And by the way, the Fantasma, what you're doing, you're killing for me, was already in you. So go and finish the job that I told you to finish." But the Fantasma still had his gun pointed at Salvador. And he lowers his gun, closes his eyes, and walks away.